Tomorrow he arrives, not just in your life, but in the destiny God has carefully written for you. Prepare your heart, God whispers. The wait is over. Tomorrow he arrives to change everything you thought was impossible. Tomorrow his presence will feel like sunlight piercing through clouds. He's the answer you've prayed for all along. Get ready. For tomorrow, he arrives carrying blessings that will heal your wounds and awaken your spirit. The universe has conspired in silence, and tomorrow he arrives to remind you why patience was necessary. God says, open your heart and home. Tomorrow he arrives with a purpose that surpasses your imagination. Tomorrow he arrives to show you love in a way that will feel like heaven has finally touched earth. Everything is aligning for you. Tomorrow he arrives as a living answer to prayers whispered in the dark. God's timing is perfect. Tomorrow he arrives to rewrite the chapters you thought would never be beautiful. Tomorrow he arrives carrying not just love, but the peace and clarity you've been seeking in silence. Your heart has been waiting, trembling, hoping. God says tomorrow he arrives to fill it with purpose. Tomorrow he arrives, and the echoes of your prayers will finally manifest in ways that leave you breathless. Wide message, prepare yourself. Tomorrow he arrives with the strength and guidance you didn't even know you needed. The angels have been watching silently, and tomorrow he arrives to honor your faith and courage. Tomorrow he arrives to remind you that every tear you've shed was worth the love that's coming. God says your patience will be rewarded. Tomorrow he arrives, and your world will never feel the same again. Tomorrow he arrives, and you'll understand why certain doors had to remain closed until this very moment. The wait has been long, but divine timing is flawless. Tomorrow he arrives to bless you abundantly. God whispers, tomorrow he arrives to bring clarity, to heal your heart and awaken your dreams. Tomorrow he arrives like a miracle in motion, carrying the love and purpose you've been seeking for years. God says, tomorrow he arrives, and with him comes a peace so deep it will calm every storm within you. Prepare your soul, for tomorrow he arrives, and your life will feel like a beautiful new chapter written by God. Tomorrow he arrives, and suddenly all the confusion and waiting will make sense, as if guided by a divine hand. God message, he has been prepared for you, just as you've been prepared for him. Tomorrow he arrives. Tomorrow he arrives, and every prayer you whispered alone in the night will finally have an answer. Your heart's longing is heard. God says, tomorrow he arrives with everything you've been quietly hoping for. Tomorrow he arrives, not by chance, but because God has orchestrated this moment down to the smallest detail. The universe shifts in your favor. Tomorrow he arrives to remind you why faith never betrays the patient heart. God whispers, tomorrow he arrives to restore, to inspire, and to love you in ways that defy explanation. Tomorrow he arrives, bringing a calm so deep it will settle the chaos you've carried in silence. The wait ends tomorrow. He arrives, and suddenly the world feels brighter, lighter, as if divinely rewritten. God says, prepare your mind, body, and soul. Tomorrow he arrives to fulfill promises that were always meant for you. Tomorrow he arrives, and every fear you've held will dissolve in the light of what is coming. Your prayers are not ignored. God whispers, tomorrow he arrives to bless the love you've been ready to receive. Tomorrow he arrives like a sunrise, illuminating everything that darkness tried to hide from your heart. God message, tomorrow he arrives, carrying answers, healing, and the gentle power to change your life forever. Tomorrow he arrives, and all the waiting, all the tears, all the prayers, they converge into one beautiful moment. Your soul has been whispering for this. Tomorrow he arrives, guided by God's perfect timing. God says tomorrow he arrives to show you why patience, faith, and hope were your most powerful allies. Tomorrow he arrives not just to enter your life, but to awaken the love you've been hiding within yourself. God whispers, tomorrow he arrives to make you realize that every lonely night had a purpose. Tomorrow he arrives with the energy of 1,000 answered prayers, shaking the foundation of everything ordinary. The wait was divine preparation. Tomorrow he arrives, and your heart will finally feel at home again. God message, tomorrow he arrives to lift burdens, ignite hope, and bless you with the love you've always deserved. Tomorrow he arrives reminding you that God's timing is never late. It's perfect and precise. Every moment of waiting has been sacred. Tomorrow he arrives to show you the beauty of divine patience.